Welcome to Escape This Podcast, a show that's a mix between tabletop role-playing and escape room puzzles. This is the third episode of season 16.
But the first one that I have written.
Yeah, this is our first Danny room of the season.
I've gotten back into this.
Every episode we have guests come on and play through an audio escape room that exists only in their mind and Danny's mouth and your ears. And this episode...
Love it phrased that way.
First, writer, comedian, you may know him from No Rolls Barred, and he is also 1/3 of Invisible Typewriter. Welcome to the show, Jon Gracey.
Hello.
And also event and theatre producer and one more third of Invisible Typewriter. Welcome, Viv Egan.
Hello.
The third of Invisible Typewriter, not going to be
Invisible,
here. I hope
as
you
it
were
happens.
waiting for them. They're not here.
We regularly talk about how he is too beautiful to be seen by the human eye. He mustn't be
voice.
gazed upon.
Yeah.
His
and
voice
he's
is too silky to be heard.
Yeah.
Of course, this is an audio medium.
He's also in Thailand down with COVID, so
Yeah.
We have loved a lot of the stuff that you've done. We first saw you, Jon, on No Rolls Barred, playing Blood on the Clock Tower, which we now play with a lot of people on our Discord.
Just started in the last 2 weeks. And
Oh, really?
great.
oh
Yeah,
my God.
It's been great fun. All the
Amazing.
stories we could tell. They're the same as everyone else's stories. It's a very fun game.
People think I'm a good liar.
Well, you must be then, by definition.
Yeah.
We've also seen a lot of what you've done on Twitch. And also, you released a game as Invisible Typewriter called You Know It. Do you want to give people a rundown of what that is? Because it's a very, very fun. And watching the video of you playing that on No Rolls Barred was great.
Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. You Know It is a trivia party game with a little bit of betting and a little bit of social deduction. So basically, each round you get 5 trivia questions. They're quite hard. And because they're hard, not everyone around the table will know the answer. So part of the game is guessing how many people playing will get it correct. So that's a point for a correct answer, a point for a correct guess of how many players. And then you each have a betting chip where you can bet on someone to know or not know one answer each per round.
We should do a round now. Just really quickly.
Just real quick, we'll just play.
We've just finished all of the... We'll just do one question, I think. We've just finished all of the questions. Viv has been painstakingly fact-checking and editing them, and we have all of our questions.
I literally am physically incapable of saying no to trivia, so this works for me.
Great. While we do this, what if you were in a pub trivia team, what would be your specialist subjects? We tend to ask this at the start of a game so that if it's people that don't know each other super well, you have an idea of kind of where to place your bets.
I'm into world flags and capitals.
Interesting.
Great.
Danny is very good at world capitals. I pretend to be, and then I look at Danny until she hints the answer to me. I'm like, oh, yes, yes.
Can I have a number between 1 and 8, please?
8.
And can I have a number between 1 and 10?
Oh no, you've chosen
6.
sports.
Oh,
We
let's
can
do
make it work.
We can do it.
All right, here we go. This is in the sports category. Which netball position is allowed in the largest proportion of the court? So write down what you think the answer is. And then once you've done that, write a number between 0 and 4, which is how many people you think will get the answer right.
Trying to judge... Yeah, trying to judge the two of you. This is exciting.
It is also a bluffing game. If you want to try and mislead people to bet on you by making the sounds that suggest you know the answer, that is perfectly legal play.
It's been so long.
How dare you?
I've forgotten who's in which bit.
He's lying.
I'm
He's
not
lying.
I'm very convinced by your lies, though.
Yeah.
All right,
Please
okay.
Please be convinced.
So pens down. So what I need now, so start with you, Danny. You don't have to bet. I suppose for the purpose of this, it's more interesting if you do bet.
If you don't bet, you ruin it all.
In the game, you would do 5 questions per round and you have 2 to spend over 5. So you might want to save it for when you're more certain. But given we're only doing 1 question. Who would you like to bet your you know it or you don't know it token on?
Viv, I reckon you know it.
Viv is now blocked off, so no one can bet on Viv.
Okay.
Bill, it's your turn. You can only bet on me or Danny because you can't bet on yourself.
Oh, you fool, you shouldn't have given me this chance. Danny knows it.
Yeah, of course she does. Now, the question is, do I bet on... Actually, let's go for you first, Viv.
I'm going to bet that you do not know it.
Okay, thank you for that, because I wouldn't have been able to bet otherwise. So I can't bet on myself. Do I think you know it or don't know it, Bill? This is the big question, because you were making a big fuss about how you didn't know it.
It was a big fuss.
Is that bluster?
It might be. I think he's going to pull it out of the bag.
I think he's going to pull it out of the bag as well. The fact that you're even tossing up which position suggests you know more about netball than I would have thought. So I'm going to bet that you do know it, Bill.
Okay, I think you're wrong, but that's okay.
So to clarify, bet on Danny to know it, on Viv to know it, Bill to know it, and Jon to not know it. All right. So starting with you, Danny, how many people do you think got this right?
Well, this was before those bets went out. I thought that we'd all know it. I put 4.
4. Okay, that is why you do the bets first, because it's very obvious when people bet what they think.
Yeah, true.
You said 4. Bill, what about you?
I thought Jon's not going to know this. This is a question for Australians.
Rude.
What,
And
not
then-
English. Yeah, English people hate netball.
English people hate netball. There's so many other sports to play. And then I thought, I'm going to get it wrong, so I bet 2. I think you two will know.
Okay.
Right. I put 2 because I thought this is a question for women. Let's be real.
I also said 2, because I think Danny and Viv know it. I might have just stumbled upon it. I think I've named a correct position in netball, but I don't know if it's the one.
I don't even know if I have.
Oh, for God's sake.
So we're going to look at the answer. Starting with you, Danny, what did you say the answer was?
Okay, well, now I'm afraid.
Don't be afraid.
Centre.
Okay.
Oh, cool. I also, if it's my turn, and if it's not,
It is your turn.
I've already started.
Yeah.
I also wrote centre, but I was worried that it was
Do you
like
think the
centres.
circles are bigger than we think?
No, I thought it was like the centre's super locked for a second. It was going to be like wing attack. And then I went,
Oh,
it can't
God,
be
no.
wing attack because then it would also be wing defence. So it's just got to be the centre. And so I stuck on centre.
Nah.
You've really me there, Bill. So I can't spell. You have to bleep that out.
I said centre.
I said wing attack, which I'm very proud of. Because I
if it
thought
was
you
wing
get to
attack,
run
it
up
would
and
be wing
down.
defence.
Yeah.
The centre has to run more.
So the correct answer is, of course, centre, which means anyone who said centre gets a point. Anyone who said 3 gets a point, which I think was none of us.
I didn't say it.
And I bet on Bill to get it right, so I get a point.
Yeah.
The bets
Viv
were
bet on
good.
me to get it wrong,
Yep.
so you get a point.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bill bet on Danny. Danny bet on Viv, I think. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Anyway, everyone gets a point from your token bet. Those of you who got it right on the question will get a point. But I think because no one got the number right, in this case, it is a tie between Viv
Big old
and
time.
Danny
Well-
and Bill.
I got 2 points.
Well,
I
you
got
know
it right.
what that means. It just means that at a later date, we've got to come back for a rematch.
That's it.
Absolutely.
That's right. We've got to play a whole round.
So anyway, that's you know it. You would play. You do 5 questions and then you do the answers like back to back. So that was just a little slice of what one round would be. And basically, whoever has the most points after 3 rounds wins. And it's really fun because you get to learn stuff about your friends and what they do and don't know, and you get to prove that knowledge by betting correctly or poorly. And it's if you get it right, it feels great, and if you get it wrong, it's often very funny. So yeah, it's a good game. It is on Kickstarter, but I think the Kickstarter is closing very, very soon. Probably by the time this comes out, it'll be closed, but it will be available to buy probably later this year.
Yeah,
Excellent.
so keep an eye out, keep an ear out. We'll have any links that are appropriate, and it's a really nice version of a trivia game that isn't just like Trivial Pursuit, where one person is just getting everything right and everyone else sort of sits despondently going,
Yeah.
oh, well, yep, they got another... why did I get the cricket question and they're getting the rugby question? I know rugby. Oh. So it's great. So it's very fun. But we actually came here for a different reason. There's a whole other game that we were going to play, which is an escape room that Danny designed. This is an escape room show, so starting maybe with Viv, what is your escape room experience?
We've been playing escape rooms for a really long time. We were in Budapest in 2014.
Oh, yeah, that's like the starting seeds.
Exactly. And hilariously enough, so we were there and my university boyfriend's parents, who I am still to this day Facebook friends with, had gone to an escape room in Budapest and wrote about it on Facebook. And they're like, oh, it was so much fun. And, da-da-da. And so I was like, oh, why don't we do one of these? This sounds up our alley. And we did like
Never heard of one
3,
before.
4.
I remember
over there.
doing 2 in the same company.
Yeah.
The first one was like a horror themed one, and well, I'll wait until my turn.
You can go.
Well, basically,
Feel free to
I didn't
jump in,
know
Jon.
what I didn't know what the limitations of it was. So you go into this kind of spooky abandoned house, and it was the vibe of like spooky stuff is happening, and I don't know where the boundaries of this experience are, having never done an escape room before. I'm like, is someone going to jump out in a terrifying mask and like shout at me? So it was really scary, and I had the best time. And then the next one was like a kind of wacky, like around the world in 80 days style explorer. And you went to his apartment and it was just so high tech. You had to like hit a golf ball through a series of pipes. Then it landed on a toy train that like drove through a hole in the wall and the key was in the
dang.
train. So we were really
It's
spoiled
really
by
good
our
fun.
first rooms because I think
Yeah.
they were like world-renowned quality, and we were like, oh, I guess this is what escape rooms are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than the other way around, though, when someone's first experience is crap and spoils them in the other way.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And Jon, you've also done some like at-home escape room design stuff, right?
That's right, yeah. So with Matt, who is the third member of Invisible Typewriter, who could not be here today because he wasn't invited, but also he's in Thailand. He's very ill. Me and him and another friend designed a series of escape rooms for families called History Mysteries, which each one is a different period of time that you're exploring. First game is Ancient Egypt, and the second game is Medieval England, and the forthcoming game is Ancient Rome. And they're kind of hour and a half kind of escape room experiences. The first one was really based on escape rooms, and there's a timer, and you kind of go through the puzzles very linearly. So that's Ancient Egypt. Then the second game is much more of based on a kind of LucasArts 90s point-and-click adventure game world, in that you're exploring this medieval village and you're talking to all these characters, and it's much more open-ended. There's no timer on that one. And then we've gone really off the wall with Rome. There's stickers. You're like upgrading your armies. Half of the game is diplomacy. The other half is military. It's unhinged. We've spent so long on it. It's very, very cool. It's coming out later this year. Basically 3 games. They're all in the same world as well. You're working for the Ministry of Time, which came out before the Spanish TV series Ministry of Time and the recent book called The Ministry of Time, which I'm annoyed about because we did do it first. And it's kind of a semi-shady government organization that is trying to fix the timeline.
So then the other element of this show is it's escape rooms in a sort of tabletop role-playing style. I'll just field the question to both of you. It's probably a little easier. What is your tabletop role-playing experience?
Not heaps for me. I've done a bit. We've done the odd like D&D campaign, but it's not one of my passions. However,
it's not one of your passions yet. I actually think you're an example of a really good role player because you play very instinctively, and I think. Would you remember I won't talk about the content because it was absolutely not for families, but we did a 24-hour stream to celebrate the funding of You Know It. And our friend Ivan Brett, who was on the UK series of The Traitors, is a very storied games master. And he agreed to do a very silly, like, 2-player RPG. And we let the audience decide what the content was. And they chose some very, very adult themes that
it was late at night.
I won't go into what the
drinks were had.
I won't go into what the themes were, but the way you played I was very impressed. I thought you really you leaned into the story without being like wacky or silly. So I think you would be a very good role player should you choose to be.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Thanks.
As for me, I got into role playing in Australia, and I met a bunch of Viv's friends that I tried to become friends with as well. And the way I did that was we ran a bunch of werewolf nights that people would come over. Viv would cook and I would run the games. But I really formed a group of friends playing a Call of Cthulhu campaign that I ran. And it was probably my first exposure to kind of long form non-D&D storytelling. And it was just great. I just looked forward to it so much. I got very immersed in it. And also it was a great chance to make proper friends. So I've kind of loved it ever since. It's really hard to play in a regular way, as I'm sure you know, in terms of logistics and like getting everyone together and time constraints and all of that. But there's nothing like a good role-playing game is like nothing else, in my opinion. There's nothing that transports you in the same way. And also the fact that you can shape it into the game you want it to be. You know, you have to have the right group, you have to have a really good GM. There's so many caveats, but if you get all of that in place, it's kind of the best thing there is.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, I think now, Danny, if you'd like to whisk us away into a tabletop role-playing experience crafted exactly the way that you wanted it to be, I think let's jump into the room.
All right, let's do this.
Hell yeah.
The sunset should be beautiful from the pier at Brookgar Island. Quiet, peaceful, uninterrupted view of the Indian Ocean. It should be beautiful. But you can't appreciate beauty today. Maybe you won't ever be able to again. No matter how clear the skies, the dark clouds in your mind cast deep shadows. This is your one last chance to nab Emily Hurley. You've been on the hunt for her for over 15 years, ever since the arson case of '09. Since then, she's stuck to the shadows, cropping up every so often for some deadly venture, and become the most hardened criminal the 20s have ever seen. The 2020s, not the 1920s. You took this case when you were new on the force, and you held on to it up until the moment you quit the force. And even as a private citizen, Hurley has consumed you. Especially since last year. It got personal. And now I have a note here that says, allow players to decide how it got personal.
Oh. Okay, so arson. It depends. Do we know how much of a, is she
Don't overthink it, just something. She did something horrible.
I don't want to be like she killed my family or something. That feels a bit
Oh my God, she killed your family!
Oh
my God, what a Grace person! This is one of our
the-
Patreon donors.
Okay, she stole a really important family heirloom.
Okay.
Because it can't be something too heinous or she'd be a monster. It's not even worth very much, but it's got a lot of sentimental value. And I can't believe she'd do that.
Makes you sick inside. But you know what? You don't like to dwell on it. Thinking about it too much makes you feel soft, and you can't afford to be soft. Not now. Not when you've finally done what the official investigation never could. You've tracked her down. Brookgar Island is the perfect place for a criminal like her to lay low. The only people here are camping tourists of exactly her demographic. It's old school enough that it doesn't have much contact with the outside world. No security, barely any phone reception, and a ferry twice a day is the only means of reaching the place. And there's also the little matter of the fact that her sister owns the island's only business, a small beachside spa retreat. Despite the isolated location and limited clientele, it's the only place any of the campers can shower, so basically she can charge whatever she wants and she makes a killing. And when Emily Hurley caught you scouting out the island mere moments ago, you tracked her incognito family through sheer grit and off-the-books detective work. It was right into that spa that she fled. Her sister has been hiding her, and you have no doubt she won't give her up easily. Now, technically, you don't have authority. You can't arrest the sister. You don't even have a warrant. If you catch Emily, the police won't mind you doing a citizen's arrest, but anything beyond that probably won't go well for you. So you have to enter the spa and find wherever Emily Hurley is hiding, using just your brain, and doing it before the last ferry of the day comes in about an hour. You don't have a camper's permit to stay on the island overnight, and you don't want to be the one arrested. So, you walk up the path and enter Kaylee's Getaway Spa. Calming music and various fragrances greet you. Kaylee herself, the sister, stands behind a counter in the lobby. She can't possibly recognize you, but she recognizes your type. Because her eyes narrow and she turns and calls out,
All patrons, please leave immediately for your own safety.
oh, that's the voice we're going with.
We're going
Okay.
for this voice for this woman. Yeah, that's what I've decided.
All right. A flurry of campers rushes out from two separate doors in the wall behind her. You scrutinize all of them, but none of them's Emily. You'd know her face anywhere. She's still hiding. Kaylee's just protecting her business. I'll find her, you say menacingly. Kaylee sticks out her chin.
You can try.
You eye your surroundings, and this is where, if you're map drawers, you could draw a map or just write things down. The lobby is in the shape of a narrow rectangle, stretching out to the left and right, but not much space between the door from which you entered and the counter in front of you. To the left and the right of the counter on the far wall are two doors, the ones that the campers all came through. The left door of those two is labelled Massage and Aromatherapy, and the right one is labelled Mud Spa. Against the left wall is a display case of various bottled products. And on the right wall is a large poster with lots of writing on it. Up in a corner, you spot a security camera. Ooh, that could be useful. Kaylee looks at you confidently, almost challengingly. Well, if there's a challenge here, you're up for it. Emily can't hide. No beauty spa can mask her ugliness. Once again, thank you, Patreon donor Emily Hurley.
You ugly thief.
And with that, you're free to look around.
So
Alright.
is Kaylee here just watching us?
Yeah, just standing behind the counter,
Okay.
eyeing you down.
I'd like to go and read what's on the poster.
For the purposes of this, are we one person or are we both?
One person probably
Yes,
makes sense.
you are one person. You've been smushed together into a single being,
Okay.
Okay.
like a marriage.
The poster is packed with colourful words that are arranged almost like scientific equations. The words Some of them are words. And you're going to get a picture of that as soon as Bill can find the right part of the Google Drive.
I was still on the test image that I sent you, and then I went, oh no, I have to get back to the real images.
I can't believe Kaylee's just watching us while we're doing this.
That's weird.
Kaylee,
It's very unnerving.
Don't you know what your sister did?
Nothing. She's innocent. We're all innocent. Me, my sister, my mother, the murderer. We're all innocent.
Sorry, what?
No.
Interesting. All right. Make a note
For
of
people
that.
at home, you can see this poster in the show notes. But John, would you like to describe what you're seeing for people at home?
You can give an overview.
So what we've got is a series of 7 groups of 3 words, and it'll be, the format is word plus word, arrow to third word 7 times.
But none of them are actual words.
Yeah. Or some
Well,
of them are, but I think by accident. And they're also in different colours. So, for example, the very first one is the word inink, I-N-I-N-C, in green, then a plus, and then a high S, H-A-I-E-S-S in red, and an arrow going to Nuhium, N-H-U-I-M, in green. So clearly we've got to combine words in some form in order to reach a third thing, and it looks like some kind of code. I almost thought it was Latin for a second, but it's not, I don't think.
No, but some of them look a bit Latin.
Yeah, the 5th one looks like the word curiosity without the S and the T.
Curiori.
Do we think we're just missing certain letters?
I guess it's something about how we're combining them with the colours.
Yes.
But also...
Right, so that's the 4th one is a purple word. Is purple, is that red plus blue is purple?
Yes, it is.
Are we doing something there about combining colours?
But what are the other ones? Green and like a sort of orangey, which I don't think is resulting in the red that we've got there. I think we might need something else in the room to help us.
Do you think we need a Rosetta Stone?
Possibly,
okay.
Yeah.
Or we're just not very good at puzzles.
Maybe.
Might be that.
I can't believe you haven't solved
one thing and you haven't solved the room? God.
It's eminently possible that everything we need is here. But let's keep exploring.
Yeah.
We can come back to that.
We did say we've done a lot of these, but we're not like that good at them.
No.
We're fine.
Yeah.
Danny, I'd like you to put my they don't know it token on John.
Very good.
Very good.
No, knowing when you've got enough information and when you should move on is absolutely one of the essential escape room skills.
Yes. Do we have handcuffs on us?
You don't. You're not an official police officer. You've long since left that life behind. Ugh.
And you did say we can't arrest anyone other than Emily, so we
Pretty
need to
much
be
that'll
careful,
be the only
Kaylee.
one.
Just try and arrest me. You can't do it.
Oh, I want to arrest you so
I'm
much,
free
Kaylee.
as a bird.
Oh, not for long. All right.
Shall we look at the products on the other side?
Can we, while we're here, can we have a look up at the security camera and see if there's anything?
Oh, yeah. Well, the security camera itself is out of reach, but you can see a wire trailing out of it, snaking all the way around the counter to where a computer sits to one side of Kaylee. You raise your eyebrows at her, gesture to the camera. That thing work? And she nods.
And you can see the footage if you like.
Oh.
Well.
Cool. We'd love to look at... Thank you so much, Kaylee, for being so cooperative with the police. Can we see the footage?
You circle round to her side and watch as she opens up the security program. She tries to give you the runaround by starting the footage from the beginning of the day, but you grab the mouse and skip forward yourself.
Come on, Kaylee. Nice try.
My plan.
What? There it is, clear as day, Emily walking in. And the footage has sound and everything, so you can hear every word of their conversation.
Hi there. Do you have space for a walk-in?
Oh, my sister has such a normal voice compared to me.
Well, we're quite busy, but I think I can make room for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Customer service is our priority here.
What is this? It doesn't sound like it's not interesting. It doesn't sound like a code. It just sounds like shop chatter. It's so disappointing you almost fast forward again. Until you notice that Kaylee is doing something with her hands in that footage.
Ooh.
Emily's slightly in the way, so you can't see it exactly, but it looks like Kaylee is tracing her finger along the counter between the two of them, almost like she's writing.
And we can't see the writing.
No.
All right, I grab Kaylee by the lapels. Kaylee, tell me about the writing. No, I don't.
They're detachable lapels, idiot! And she pulls back.
Oh, I hate Kaylee so much. What do you think, George?
There's no like residual dust on the counter that she's written in that we can see.
You take a look and, annoyingly, it's spick and span. It's hard to focus on the counter itself with her staring at you like that, but you take in what you can. No dust at all. All you've got is there's that computer next to her. There's also a little aerosol bottle that every minute or two she sprays onto her hands and rubs them together like a supervillain. A look at its label reveals that it's an all-natural sanitizer. It's just lemon juice in water. Oh, there's also a single sheet of paper up here. And you're going to see that as well.
Fruit plus flour, tick. Wood plus spice, tick. Or all four, exclamation mark, tick. Okay.
Interesting.
For our American listeners, that's a check mark at the end of each of the
Oh.
lines.
So they're
In
not
case
so
you
big.
thought it was covered in bugs.
I have deliberately left all the Australianisms in this one.
Oh, yeah. But I'll flip and catch up.
Good
Okay.
stuff.
Obstinately.
Can we? Is there anything to do with like spraying that thing on the table to reveal the message? Is that a thing?
That worryingly might have the opposite effect of what you want.
Okay.
Even though it's just basically lemon juice, you wouldn't want that to clean off anything that might have been
Cool.
left
Okay.
there.
Cool.
Interesting. I'm interested that the fruit plus flour, wood plus spice format is the same as we're seeing in the poster. Jumble word plus jumbled word.
Okay.
I can't see
Fruit
any
plus
like
flour.
crossover at the moment, but
Do we think any of these are fruits? Well, if we're back at the 3-word sentence thing. Are any of these fruits or flowers or wood or spice? Do we think?
thing is, I was trying to like unscramble some of the individual words. I can't see
Because these have to be missing. Like RGR can't be an anagram.
No.
That must be missing.
No, this
Missing.
is still a real pain, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. I suspect we should do some more digging
Yeah.
before we come back to this.
Mhm.
So, where would you like to go next, George? You wanted to look at the
The products in the glass cabinet.
bottles.
Yeah.
This is entirely open to you. It's littered top to tail with bottles, sprays, vials of every kind. They're all labelled, but knowing what they are doesn't help when you're not really looking for anything in particular at this stage. Just know it's got a lot.
All right, cool.
Interesting.
Seeing a lot of fruit and flour here. Maybe some wood and spice.
Oh, almost certainly.
All right. Can we go to the door marked massage and see if it opens?
So you approach the door to the massage room. And you look at it first for any details that you didn't already notice. It's red, which is kind of unusual. It's not exactly a relaxing spa colour. Also, towards the top, you spy that someone has written the letters P and N with a marker. Looks kind of out of place. The door does open if you want that as well.
P and N in red.
Yes, and that's P for Patrick and N for Nancy.
All right. So what we could do, that would make pain at the bottom if we're
Oh.
adding it to the red.
Right. But there are several other red words as well.
Yeah, I just wondering if we had P and N to each of them.
Sure.
But I'm not sure where it would go just yet.
Oh.
Given the door is red. That's all I was thinking. But maybe
That
okay.
one would be almost participation, third one down.
so I think
but
maybe we need some more
an
letters.
R. I think we should look at the other door and see what colour that is.
Great idea.
And what letters might be written on there.
Love it.
Which other door do you mean?
Oh, the mud spa door.
That is the only other door
Or
other than the one
door
we came in. Right?
The door we came in might have had stuff on
Yeah.
the back that we didn't see as we came in.
Can I just check? It's massage room, mud spa, and entrance door. Is that
Correct.
Yeah.
Well-
Let's look at all the doors, starting with the mud spa door, please.
You approach the door to the mud spa. It's yellow, which is kind of garish. And the brightness means it's all too easy to see the graffiti because someone has written the letters T and A up the top with a marker. Sure enough. You paid the front door no heed on your way in, but now that you're looking, you notice it's blue, and up the top, it's got the letters S and E written there.
Okay. So I had previously interpreted the poster colour as orange, but is the colour that's on the poster the same tone that's on the mud spa door?
I would say no, it looks quite distinctly orange.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. The mud spa door is yellow.
Mm.
The massage door is red. You can combine red and yellow to get orange.
I think that's what we might have to
I
do.
think we might. And then, sorry, the front door,
It's blue, and
it says
that's
SE, and it's blue. Okay. So we haven't
So that
got
could
anything
be-
that's green.
It could be fairs, for example.
Oh,
Could be
hang
hope.
on.
It could be hopes.
Hang on.
So-
So yellow and blue make green, don't they?
Yes.
Yes. And then red and yellow make orange, and blue and red make purple. So we've got all the colours that are on the poster there.
All right. Well, should we solve this big ass puzzle?
Yeah, it's really big. I'm intimidated.
So yellow is TA and blue is SE. So we assuming that we add the yellow and blue letters to
Yes.
the green words.
I guess, yeah, I
So
think
we'd
so.
add TA and SE to in ink.
SE in ink.
So for those of you listening at home, the top, you've hopefully got access to the document, but the word we're looking for is ININC in green, and we're trying to figure out what we would add, of where we would add the SE and
where.
the TA.
It's kind of tricky.
It's quite possibly the hardest one, is the top one.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, good to know.
And
Thank
it
you.
does exist twice, which is good.
Yes, so that's helpful.
Well, why don't we look at some?
Easier ones?
So I would guess that the far on the second
Yeah.
line is just going to add an ES. I would imagine
Sure.
fairs, FARES,
Okay.
but it could also be EFARS.
I'm gonna... or fears.
Fears makes much more sense.
Yeah.
Oh, so they are anagrams. They're not in the right order. They've got to be
I'm
right.
assuming that they're not in the correct order.
There's so
'cause-
many anagrams.
Yeah. Okay. So
Fears is very good.
Believe it or not, while you can solve this right now, if it does feel like there's too much, there is still more that you can use to...
All right.
okay.
To
That's
help
good
with
to
it.
know.
That is very good to know.
Okay.
I think we should get all the information.
I think
first
so.
before
I think
we-
that's more satisfying.
All right. So,
Okay.
do you want to go in the massage room then? We were about to go
Inside
in
it?
before. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we go inside the massage room?
Let's do it. You move through the red door and find the room beyond bathed in relaxing low light. There's warmth, you suppose, emanating from the 4 braziers that you see in each corner of the room. I pronounce that weird.
Braziers?
Braziers. Braziers? Do you say braziers?
I would say braziers.
Oh,
I'd say
I sh-
braziers.
Yeah, I'm gonna say candles.
I say braziers.
That's something different.
Do you know Australian comedian
Oh, I'm not-
Michelle Brazier?
Yeah, see?
Well, whatever. There's one of them in each corner of the room. Lined up in the center are 3 unoccupied massage tables. Way across opposite you is another door, and you see a sign on it that says UV treatment room closed.
That's interesting. So if we had something that might be visible under UV light, we might want to use it in
Good
there.
point. Are the braziers, are they lit flames? Are they real fire?
Yeah, they absolutely are. On closer inspection, they're just like fancily decorated diffusers with candles underneath brassy bowls that contain an essential oil, and all 4 of them are full and lit.
If this was a Zelda game, you'd blow out all the candles and then a treasure chest would appear.
Sure, if you want to do that.
I do kind of want to do that. Can I blow out all 4 candles? Can we, blow out all 4 candles?
One at a time, you blow out the candles, and it doesn't have much of an effect, except that, sometimes when you blow out a candle, it just makes the scent stronger. It
Yeah.
does that. They're just
Nice.
very noticeable, these scents.
What does it smell of?
Great question.
You pick one of them and you inhale it, and you'd know that smell anywhere. It's pine. Pine like the pine fence on the property you grew up on that your
Like
father never
wood?
fixed up.
Pine like the wood!
Pine like the wood!
A great memory. You go over to the next one, blow it
Can
out,
I
and then
ask,
you smell.
does it matter which one is which?
Order? Nah,
Nah.
you're good.
All right. So we've got pine.
Next one. Your mother used to keep a vase of chrysanthemums on the kitchen table all those years ago. And this is the spitting scent image of that.
Great.
Great.
Third one. Childhood favorite. Cinnamon. You haven't had cinnamon toast since the doctor told you to get your blood sugar in check 8 years ago.
That's a spice.
Sure
And the
is.
fourth.
It's got to be a fruit, baby.
It's definitely a fruit, but you don't have any traumatic memories activating the fourth.
Oh
Or
no.
no nostalgia, nothing.
How am I meant to solve this puzzle?
You can't quite identify what fruit this is.
We can't?
No,
Oh my god.
So
this is a nightmare.
we're gonna need to
Can
look
you
for
can you
clues.
send us a link with the smell in it, please?
Yeah, so I'll just add that in. If you're playing along at home, Put your podcast player up to your nose and just get
Yeah.
a whiff of this.
Smellogram.
Fruit question mark. Oh dear.
Okay.
So fruit plus flour question mark, so we don't know what the fruit is. Wood plus spice. We've got pine plus cinnamon.
Okay. And then we have
Or
tick.
all four.
Or all four. So this suggests we need to combine them, right? So we want to combine in some way pine plus cinnamon.
Yes.
How would we do that? Would we like put them on, like relight the candles at the same time? Maybe?
Interesting.
Or
Let's try it.
are we using that to go back to the big cabinet?
Let's go to the
Let's
cabinet.
see if there is a pine
Great idea.
and cinnamon flavored potion.
Or maybe we combine the two.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can we just first of all check the door to the UV treatment room? I know it's closed, but just in case it's not locked.
Absolutely. You can't tell from the door alone how large that UV treatment room is, and you may never know because the door is shut and locked with no visible means of opening it. It's true that these sorts of artificial UV treatments were banned in this country recently, so you suppose it makes sense to get rid of access to it. One thing they have left in place is a small shelf on the wall right beside the door with a couple of torches sitting on it. A label on one of them informs you that they're UV torches, once used so that customers could make sure their sunglasses were working before they entered the full treatment area.
Fabulous.
Cool. Good to know.
We'll take both torches, I think. Put one in
Certainly.
each hand.
You're wearing a deep trench coat. You've got plenty of space in your inventory.
Okay. Could we quickly scan the room with the UV torches? Would you like us to say where we're scanning?
There is one particular spot that will be more useful than any others, but what I will tell you is in this entire massage room, nothing seems to stand out in particular.
I think we
be
need
the
to look at
desk.
the counter. Yeah.
We don't want to clue Kaylee into how close we are to solving her
That's
fiendish
true.
puzzles.
Okay, let's
Otherwise
hide
we'll
the
have to
UV
kill her.
torches for now.
So she's
And
opened up Minecraft. She's not paying much attention to it right now.
Let's go and see if there are any pine, cinnamon, or chrysanthemum like liquids.
Products on the shelf.
Yeah.
You scour that shelf, and there's one. There's a bottle labeled Essence of Pine, and it's got a little bit of text in squiggly font at the bottom of the label, and it says, "Let your hope rise."
Okay.
Let your hope rise.
As for cinnamon, yeah, it doesn't take you long to spot that. A bottle of cinnamon sticks on the shelf, and it's labeled, along with the product and brand name, there is a quote that says, "The power of imagination."
Mm.
Can we have a look for some chrysanthemum, please?
There are so many flower-based products here, it takes you some time to locate chrysanthemum specifically, but eventually you do. A single bottle of floral oil that matches what you're after, and its label reads, "Handle sadness in a healthy way."
And then I assume there are many fruits.
Oh, yeah.
All right, okay, so we need to come back to that.
Okay, interesting. I would just like
Eat a
to,
banana with joy.
I'd like to share that when I was writing down the cinnamon sticks one, I wrote the power of imagination.
Could we, while Kaylee is distracted by Minecraft, could we shine the UV torch on the table just in case we see it?
This is a perfect idea. What was she rubbing her hands with? What was she cleaning her hands with?
Lemon juice.
Lemon juice.
Lemon juice shows up under UV.
Yes, I knew that.
Perfect.
If there's one thing you'll learn on the Force, kid, lemon juice always shows up under UV.
From my degree in forensics, I remember that.
You flick on the torch and, yep, she inadvertently wrote her message in invisible ink with her finger
What a
on
clown.
here. The only problem is, when you're writing with your finger, you do it all in the same spot. So it's a hint hard to read, but I'm sure you won't have any problem with that as you look at this.
Yes, for people at home, you can see this image. John, would you like to describe what you're looking at for the people at home?
This is counter UV. Okay, so it's one big blob with a bunch of letters on it. I'm seeing a W, possibly, although that looks more like a V. No, UV.
I thought that was an N actually, but
It could be an N. Oh, this is fiendish. There's definitely an S.
yeah, and a 7 maybe.
It looks like a 7, unless, it can't be. So basically, it's a bunch of letters all on top of each other. She's also got an incredibly thin finger because these are really precise.
Thank you
Or
very
they're-
much. I'm proud of my thin fingers.
Wait, I was thinking that. Oh my God, I can't believe she can hear our thoughts.
This This is
Well,
why
it's a
I'm so
demon.
good at Minecraft.
So I think a U and a V.
Yeah, it must be, but it
Because
also
that's curved and that's
But
straight.
then what's this? So that looks to me like it's an N on like a lean.
Yeah, it'd be very cruel if these were rotated around. If she was like walking around the table while she wrote them, which we know from the video that she wasn't.
No,
so it has to all be from the
she's-
same angle.
Yeah.
You can't see this, listeners, but Viv is rotating her head. we've definitely got a U. I think we've got a V.
So if that's a V though, then what's this
I see. I
on
see
the
what you mean.
left?
Is
Because
that-
they are joined up,
Yeah, that's true.
but that by itself doesn't mean anything unless it's like a slash.
It kind of looks like an A, but I don't think it is.
No.
Are we saying that is an N then? So a U and an N? U, N. We've definitely got an S. We can agree on that,
Yeah.
which currently spells sun,
Oh yeah.
or rearranged to spell sun. And then do we think this is a 7?
It looks
The
a lot
line at the top.
Like a 7 to
It
me.
goes across and then down like a
on
7.
an angle. Crucially, like what else would it be? Like a Z?
Yes, and it can't be a Z.
No.
So,
Like Sun 7.
sun 7, I think we've got.
Interesting. I mean, it could refer to something inside the UV,
UV room, that's what I was thinking. Okay, is there any kind of points of interest that we haven't looked at in this room that you've mentioned that we have ignored?
In this room? No, I think you've covered these rooms.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I think we should go to the mud
Spa.
Or let's examine the door again. When we go past Kaylee, I'd like to tap her on the right shoulder as we go past, so she looks around and there's no one there.
What? Oh no! I've been tricked.
Bamboozled!
Let's see if we can get into the mud spa, see if it's open.
You push open the yellow door and immediately, the sense of refreshment. The air is cool and mild. There's soft music playing through a sound system. Against the left wall is a set of several small square lockers. You know, the kind that are just all in a big grid-style system. Against the far wall from where you've entered, you see a shower and a long table with various fruits on it.
Oh.
Interesting.
Against the right wall, you see a little electronic station. You suspect it's the controls for the sound system. And in the middle of the room, Bill, you're going to have to help me out with this description because I hated it. You see 6 floor-to-ceiling curtains arranged in a rectangle. So, it goes like on the left and right, there is a single curtain. And then at the top and bottom, 2 curtains each.
Or rather, the front and back, maybe, rather than the top and
Right.
bottom.
Okay.
If they're coming from the ceiling, it'd be like if you look straight
Yeah.
on, two curtains in front of you. Behind those,
Okay.
there are 2 more curtains. To the sides, there's
It's
2
like
more
you're in
curtains.
school and you're being asked to draw a rectangle out of matchsticks. It's 6 matchsticks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
If you pull one of those curtains aside, you see that they're surrounding 2 mud baths side by side, with another curtain separating the 2 of them. So actually, there are 7 curtains in total.
Okay. Can we have a look at the fruits, please?
Mm-hmm. You aren't sure whether it's here for eating or for slicing them and sticking them over your eyes, but either way, there's a whole lot of small fruits in varying stages of chopped, and there are some small juice poppers in various flavors.
Can we smell the fruit and see if we can smell one that reminds us of the smell in the other room?
You certainly can. A little bit glad that no one's watching you, but you pick up all the pieces of fruit and you inhale. Some more familiar than others, but one of them clicks. This one matches it perfectly. That's plum.
Plum.
Cool.
All right, so we can.
What kind of juice is in the poppers?
A variety. Whatever you
Okay.
may need.
Okay,
So we have the final fruit.
we
now.
do. It's
What do you
plum.
think we do with this?
That I was just pondering on actually. So obviously we have to like combine them.
We might not actually know what we do with them yet, I suppose.
That's true.
might
And
not
we
think
also
comes
don't
up.
have anything necessarily to combine them in.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's let your hope rise, the power of imagination, handle sadness in a healthy way, and then could we
Yeah.
quickly toddle back and get the plum info from them?
A single bottle of aerosolized plum juice is on that shelf with a label that says, for management of anger.
Ooh. All right.
Okay, so I think there's probably stuff hidden away in those sentences that we need to do something with, but we may
Yeah.
not know yet. So we've kind of solved the first part of the note puzzle.
Yes, we just don't know
Don't know
what the
quite what to do with
input.
it.
Yeah, we know what the input, we don't know what the output is.
Yeah.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Can we go over to the lockers and see if any are open?
They're not open, but you take a look all the same. There are 25 of them all up. Each one is numbered from 1 to 25, and each one has a 3-letter combination lock holding it shut.
Could we by any chance look at number 7, please?
What would you like to do with locker number 7?
Are there by any chance letters on the...
It is a letter lock.
Could we try SUN?
The locker opens.
Ah!
You look inside. Well, there's nothing being stored in here. If there were, obviously Emily has taken it by now. But there is something unusual about the back wall of this locker. It's got some pictures on it. And some buttons. And you got a picture of that.
Yes, for people at home, you can see the inside of Locker 7, but Viv will describe it to you in perfect photorealistic detail.
As it appears.
Detail. Okay, so at the top, on the left, there's the number 6, and then there's a rectangle next to it. On the right-hand side, inside the rectangle, is a circle. That exact shape is repeated underneath, directly below where that shape is, and then underneath the 6 there is a -1, and then underneath the -1 there are kind of like lift arrows. So
Yeah, those are your buttons.
A triangle pointing up and a triangle pointing down. So the sort of rectangle circle things look like they might be some kind of switch or slider or something, but it's hard to tell. So I think maybe we should just reach in and press something and see what happens.
We mash our hands against the dial.
You haphazardly press the buttons and look around to see if there's anything being affected, and you don't see anything changing.
It's also worth noting, as you reach in, the only pressable elements are
yes,
that
just
up
that.
and that down.
Yeah.
The
The rest
big
is all
rectangles
pictures.
are purely illustrated on. They're not interactable sliders or anything like that.
Got it.
Okay.
Only up and down are pressable.
6 and -1. So there's the shower, there's the mud baths, and then there's the electronics area.
Yes. So I guess, shall we go over to the mud baths?
You examine the 2 baths, you open the curtain between them so you can see them both at once. They seem identical. They're pretty long, pretty wide, both about half full with their watery, muddy mixture.
Should we just dip a hand in and just see if there's anything?
Yeah, you reach into the mud. Thankfully, it's not that thick. All you can really find in your fumbling is the plug of each one.
Okay.
Should we drain them?
Oh, yeah, let's drain them. Why not?
You find them, pull them out. Most of the slush drains away, but the entire bottom and lower sides end up covered in a sticky layer of brown, and no matter how much you rub with your hand, it just refuses to come off.
Okay. Should we go and wash our hand off in the shower?
Good idea.
Not much to say about it. It is a little bit public for your liking, but it's basically just for washing mud off, so that's exactly what you do. It's totally functional. You feel better.
Okay, I guess then we have a look at the electronics section.
The electronics are all fixed in place, wires snaking into the walls and presumably up to the speakers. All you really have access to is a single interface, which selects music from a list. And you will see that music list. Largely just because me reading out words will get very boring if I do it too much, so sometimes I just also hand that
For
job
people
over.
at home, you can see this, but you definitely don't need to. You'll probably just be read
This
the
all
words.
just says Darude Sandstorm again and again. Okay, here we go. So we've got, shall I read this one? This is my turn?
Yeah, I think so.
So we've got a list of 12 kind of emotions, feelings. We've got number 1 is loneliness, number 2, feeling inspired, number 3, envy for you, number 4, my happy place, number 5, circles, number 6, dread. Why would you want dread in a spa? Number 7, when
Why would you want Darude Sandstorm?
I'd be absolutely blissing out in the mud. Number 6, dread. Number 7, when you call. Number 8, activation. 9, weirded out. 10, enthusiasm. 11, deep nostalgia. And 12, frustrated.
Okay.
So are any of these from the pine, cinnamon, chrysanthemum, and
Right.
plum?
So those were Let Your Hope Rise,
I'm not seeing hope on there.
Power of Imagination,
I'm not seeing that.
Handle Sadness in a Healthy Way, and For Management of Anger.
So none of those are on
They're
there.
kind of in a similar ballpark, which is weird, but
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of just like a woo-woo kind of place.
We have
The-
got 6 minus 1, which is what it said in the back of the locker,
yeah.
which I guess is dread minus circles. or just circles?
Or yeah, I would say more like circles, because then I'm going to assume that they relate to what we saw in the back of the locker. However, I don't know how to interpret that. The only thing that we have two of lined up next to each other are the mud baths, rather than, say, the massage tables.
Oh, yeah, we haven't looked at the massage tables. Oh, we should definitely do that.
Did we not? Oh, we missed those. Okay, let's make a note of that.
Can we
You
quickly
can
do
take
that
a
now?
quick run back.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't real physical space. You
You
can
just
tell
have
me.
to submit yourself to a short second of mockery.
Oh, couldn't find anything in the mud baths, could you?
You rush back to those massage
Wasn't
tables.
worth it.
As far as you can tell, they're all normal, all lined up in the middle of the room. Just long, narrow, padded rectangles with the circular holes at one end.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is a slightly different height from the others. The one to the far right.
Okay,
All right.
that's interesting. And if they have circular holes in them, then they look a lot like,
They have circular holes in them.
yeah, they look like what's in the back of the locker.
Oh, but there's three of them.
There are three of them. However, one is a different height. Is it taller, sorry, or shorter?
What button did you press?
When you did some button mashing.
Oh,
Okay. We mashed our hand clumsily against the dial,
Yeah.
so I couldn't tell you.
Let's say taller.
Do we need them at a certain height then? If only we could split into two and then you could press the button.
and I could yell through to the other room.
Ugh.
So we'll just have to use our powers of teleportation to go back and check.
So six. So can we have a look at the one that's a different height?
Beyond that, exactly the same as the others. They're fixed to the floor in place, which makes sense since clearly you can now see there's some sort of inbuilt connection between it and the next room, but nothing too remarkable.
Hey.
I just don't know if we want to If there's
Yeah,
a
it's a little
third thing that we need
Unclear
to do.
what your goal is, I agree.
Mm,
So we could just fiddle with the buttons. But
yeah. Okay,
I
but
feel
we
like
know
might
that
be
it does
missing-
something.
We might be missing what the solution is here.
What are we missing?
That's got to be happiness, right?
Happiness. Okay.
So, okay, something plus. So, for listeners, we're back at the poster with all the 7 sentences of 3 words, and we've got PN, TA, and SE.
P-N-T-A-S-E.
So, actually, happiness. The PN is going in the order, like it's
Yes.
the P and then the N.
Okay, so maybe we need to be looking.
So this is on that first line of red. So green in ink and red high S goes to green nhuim. So the red happiness.
Okay.
Okay, imagination is this one. The third one is imagination.
Okay.
So orange would be, is that yellow
Plus red.
plus red? So PN and TA. That makes no sense because PN is not in imagination.
Yeah, how do you get from imgio to imagination?
Ima, Gin, imagine, A-T-I-O-N. Okay, right. So A-N-A-T-N.
Okay.
I think is that right? Am I?
Yeah. And so your yellow door had T and A. Your red door had P and N. So you
No
used,
P's, but
Yeah, you use some of the letters
Right.
from them
So
in
you use some of
different
them, not
orders.
all.
Ooh,
And sometimes
okay.
multiple times. There's 2 N's.
Okay.
So imagination plus hopes equals
Anticipation.
anticipation. Okay.
love it.
So
And in imagination and hope, you had those because you saw them.
definitely.
The-
Imagination is cinnamon, and hope is pine. Cinnamon plus pine equals anticipation. So wood plus spice equals anticipation. I don't think we know what to do with that just
No.
yet. but-
We're bringing so many elements here for people listening along. Yeah, it's on that poster. You see the coloured words. You add the missing letters from the doors, and one of the lines says imagination plus hope goes to anticipation, and those imagination and hope words were on the products that we found in the corner. One of which was labelled with a wood.
It all
pine.
makes perfect sense.
One
guys.
was labelled
What are you
with a
doing?
spice, imagination, and that note from the counter says that wood and spice is good. These are all the elements that we're currently juggling at the same time.
Okay, so we just need to find sadness and anger That's got to be on here, right?
Sadness, ADN, and anger, maybe? Oh, no, that's not anger. Sad,
Maybe that is anger.
no, that would be arga.
Arga.
But that's definitely sadness.
Anger's there.
Oh, yeah.
AGR. Oh, there we go.
But-
Anger
okay.
plus sadness
There we
equals
go.
AI.
AI.
So the last one is anger plus sadness, which is plum plus chrysanthemum. So
Great.
plum plus chris equals. So AI is red, which is red is. How do I not know how colours work?
Red is just red
is
in this
red.
case.
Oh,
Red
just red,
is-
just PN.
yeah.
So let's say pain. So anger plus sadness equals pain,
Makes
which I
sense.
think I got really early on.
You did.
Like a legend. Like an absolute bloody legend. All right. So we've got anticipation and pain.
Okay.
I believe are so cinnamon plus pine equals anticipation,
Mm-hmm.
and plum plus chrysanthemum
And then
equals
there's
pain.
all four.
So yeah, so this
Where's
is
the
looking
other?
at the counter note: fruit plus flour, tick; wood plus spice, tick; or all four.
Yeah. So,
How do you add? Is there one? There isn't one with all four,
no.
unless there's something
Unless-
here that's anticipation and pain.
Mm.
Okay. I feel like we've got what we need from this.
Yes.
Oh no. Didn't like that sound.
Balls.
Interesting. So, okay, so we've done the poster. I mean, there might be something else we need to do with, we definitely need to do something with anticipation and pain. We've done the poster, we've done the camera, we've done the counter, we've done the bottles. I mean, I think we just have to combine the. Was there anything to do with the music? We haven't really used the music yet.
Yeah,
That's
not
true.
really.
But I don't see anticipation on there or pain.
No.
Can
think-
we combine anticipation and pain in some way? So
Okay.
if you anticipate pain, that's kind of
Dread?
It's got to be dread, right? The anticipation of pain.
Definitely not envy. It's definitely not happy. I think you're spot on.
All right. And so
Alright.
that comes in the form of anticipation, pain, or all four. Dread. So is that
Okay.
so? Okay. Well, we'll go over to the music
Yeah.
player?
Let's,
Can we play number
rev up
6?
Number 6.
Absolutely. It would be much too long for you to play everything, but just one song, you can take the time for that. You change it to Dread, and despite the name, actually does fit the mood of the place quite well. Must be about letting go of dread rather than dwelling on it. So there's a beautiful clarinet solo, some strings, 2 clarinets in harmony, followed by an abrupt crackling noise of someone overwriting an existing track with their own recording. And there's a voice saying, twice. I'm telling you, they won't come out here if you only call once. Right, what else? Paper towels are kept in the very top of the back storage unit. You'll have to bring a stepladder. Oh, and when you clean the baths, use a dash of cranberry juice with the water. Trust me, it's crazy acidic. It really helps. And then the track ends and the next song starts playing.
Okay. I think we want to return to the cabinet in the first room and find some cranberry juice.
The shelf in the lobby seems strangely absent of cranberry juice, of all things. Had so many products and you
Oh.
don't find cranberries.
It's in the poppers.
Of course it's in the popper.
Very good, pig.
Yeah, you find a perfect popper full of cranberry juice.
Great.
Oh, very good.
And let's shoot it out of the popper into the baths.
The mud that is staining the sides dribbles away into nothing and leave you
Very
with
good.
clean surfaces. You give the 2 baths a good juice scrub, and when you're done, there's writing in these bathtubs.
I can't believe we're doing Kaylee's job for her at this point, cleaning up my baths.
People at home, you can see the insides of these baths, but Jon or Viv, whoever feels like it, can describe it to you at home.
What is the name of that thing when you're afraid of lots of little holes?
Trypophobia.
Yeah, it looks like that. It's a bunch of O's and C's in a kind of diamond pattern, but there are 4 different ones, I assume, for different ends of each bath. Slightly different, but maddeningly similar.
Mm.
No. Okay, what are we missing here? Shower? No, there was nothing in the shower of
C's and O's.
interest. The curtains?
Oh, 7 curtains. Very good. So we've got open and closed on the curtains.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Expertly deducing my cipher.
Okay, so should we just do it as position 1? So we take the 7 curtains and we close them all, and then we open the top left and the bottom left curtain.
All right. What would that look like? Maybe
It would be...
yeah, from sort of top down. What sort of view would that give you?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Let's see.
Clever.
Oh, it's like a letter, right? Is it? So if we're looking at the 1 in the top left, so that one is open, this one is closed, going around.
So is this not like a little...
No, so the curtain on the left, because you have to imagine that that's a line going through each letter. The curtain on the left is closed, and therefore it's like that. It's like I'm just a straight line.
Nice.
And then on the top and the bottom of that, there's nothing, because those are ones that are open. And then the other 4 are all shut.
I don't know how you're getting to that, but I know that you're right.
Okay. So spelling, I think, I and O, if you're looking at it from a bird's eye view. Okay, so 2 is closed, open, closed, open, closed.
It's amazing. Viv is spelling out words like a ghost writing on a mirror. I do not know how she is coming to this conclusion, but it looks right. So she's now created an N.
Yeah, I-O-N.
That's number 2.
It looks like a ghost because I'm committed to this fiction.
Oh, you're making them curtainy.
Yeah, they're still
Of course.
Squiggly.
I appreciate it a lot.
So I think 3 is an...
Somehow she's got
an
to
O.
an O.
I don't know how you don't understand
Are you just turning
this.
it slightly to the side? Is
No,
that what you're
we're
doing?
looking from above.
Yeah, I got that. But how does that go in a straight line instead of diagonal?
Right, because we know that that's the runners of the curtains are on, they are square, right?
Yeah.
So they go 1, 2, 3, 4, and left and right and in the middle. So they go like that. These are pertaining to, yeah.
So actually it bisects the letter.
Yes, yeah.
Right, I was thinking they went from letter to letter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I've kind of got you.
Yeah.
It's
I knew
basically
you'd
like a digital clock 7-segment display, but on its side.
Yes.
With the full curtains, if they were all closed. It looked like a big 8 on its side.
So number 3, Viv has gotten a O. 4 is a
W, I think.
So these have to be letters, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So she's got a look what
10 now?
10 now. All right, okay, so we go to locker 10. We go to locker 10 and we write now in the little thingy.
Locker 10 opens.
Oh my god.
You find it empty apart from, funnily enough, some peculiar things on the back wall.
Okay, so they are
These
2
allow us
more
to move
sets of
the others.
up-downs that pertain to the other 2 massage tables, and then a letter 3, a number 3, and another image that looks like the massage.
So the top one
table.
on this needs to be 6.
Mm-hmm.
The middle one needs to be -1,
Mm-hmm.
and the bottom one, which we control from the other locker, needs to be 3.
Yes. Okay. And so we just need to figure out
What 0 is.
0 and, yeah.
I guess we have to assume that where they're already at is 0.
0.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would like to go to the other... Oh, we've already messed with
We've
it.
messed with it.
But
Can
the
I go
other
to the
2
other
are
locker?
still, so you can even them back out if you
We
need
can,
to.
yes, we can.
Can I even out the one that we messed with
Absolutely.
and then press up 3 times?
Yep.
Then I would like to go back to the locker which we just opened and press the middle one down once. I'm trying to reclaim some dignity after you bodied the last one. And then I'd like to go to the top button and press that up 6 times.
Fabulous. Once you've got all 3 like that, you think you hear a bit of a thunking noise.
We run through to the massage room, stopping briefly to... I was gonna wedge you, Kaylee, but that feels too much. We don't
Just
wedge you.
tell her to picture it.
Yeah, imagine you just got wedged, Kaylee.
Oh no, it's terrible.
Also, your sister's absolutely going to jail for all the crimes she committed.
Cool crimes.
You head back into the massage room. Tables are now all at different heights from each other, but more noticeably, the UV treatment room door is ajar.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
We stealth inside the UV treatment room.
You push the door open the rest of the way and step in. You need to duck your head. The room is longer than you thought, with long UV lights lining the walls, all off, thankfully. But that means you're relying on the light outside, which isn't all that bright as is. You peer into the shadows ahead. Emily Hurley is in here. She must be. You walk all the way to the end and find a bucket. A large bucket. It's full of clothes. The clothes Hurley was wearing when she entered this place. So she was here. And what's this other thing? This scrap of rubbish you found buried at the bottom. And with this, you get your last image.
Oh no, new face! Hot water soluble! Alright, we're seeing a package that you would buy in any kind of generic store with new face on it. You can hear the sirens, hopefully. 'Cause we're gonna
the police are
we're gonna get you,
coming.
Emily. It says, undetectable, hot water soluble. No one will ever know, and it's been ripped open. So I suspect we've been talking to Emily the whole time.
Oh my God.
She could have just
Pig.
left at any point. She's so arrogant. She's laughing at us. Even though she literally did a different voice for the video.
Yeah.
And
That's how
hold
competent
on.
she is.
Hold on. You saw her on video talking
We
to...
did, talking to
Hmm.
to Kaylee. We did.
Well, then she's
Oh, you're
disguised
right.
herself as Kaylee after the fact.
Sense.
Could be.
Or it could be fake video. Kaylee's in on it.
You know that video was taken just moments before you walked in. Just minutes before.
Wait, what?
You know.
What does that
Yeah,
mean?
it
then?
wasn't taking very long. That's a good question. What
So it's
does
hot
it
water
mean?
soluble.
So
How do we get some hot water?
in the shower, we take the bucket and we go to the shower
Alright,
and we
great.
put some hot water in
Yeah,
it.
we rush to the shower.
Great. You
fill the
got
bucket
hot
up.
water.
With scalding hot water. No, not scalding.
What are you going to do with it?
We're going to chuck
I
it
want
in.
to chuck it in Kaylee's face.
Yeah.
Just for fun, you chucking at Kaylee's face.
Her hands reach up to her face and she pulls them away to reveal the same face. And she says, "Not me, fools."
Well, there's no one else here, is there?
Not
All right,
anymore.
You're right.
All
Why
right,
isn't
wait,
there
we-
anybody else here?
We get another bucket of water and pour it over her computer so she can't use her business anymore.
Minecraft!
You ask a very good question, though. Why isn't there anybody else here?
Oh, God. So everyone got ushered out at the start.
Oh,
Oh, Emily!
And you know where they are now?
at the campground?
They're waiting for the ferry.
All right.
Last
we-
ferry to get them off the island.
Okay, we rush to the ferry with a bucket
With
of
our
hot
bucket
water.
of hot water.
You notice Kaylee isn't looking quite so smug anymore as you refill the bucket and head
Oh,
out the
hell
front
yeah.
door
Yeah, see you later, Kaylee.
to the ferry terminal. What a perfect plan to get out of here with a new face and then disappear back into the real world. They might have gotten away with it if not for you. The campers are in an orderly line waiting for the ferry that you see is just about to pull up. Some of them look at you in concern, some pretend not to see you. You look upon all of them with suspicion. Which one is it? Which of these beautiful young faces conceals the twisted mind of Emily Hurley? Lucky for you, you don't have to guess. You brought enough water for all of them. And as you tilt your bucket like you're aiming a cannon, you know that your vengeance is guaranteed. And with one
Congratulations.
final sound effect, I assume, of water splishing everywhere, you have finished the room.
Oh,
Congratulations.
amazing.
Hey.
Thanks for listening to Escape This Podcast. Stay tuned for next week's episode where we discuss the escape room we just did with the guest we just had. This podcast is kept afloat by crowdfunding, so if you enjoy the show, why not support it on Patreon? There's weekly bonus audio for our $5 donors, monthly videos for our $10 donors, monthly trivia for our $20 donors, and anyone at any level can appear as an NPC in one of the rooms that Danny designs. And thanks again for listening.